What we do is we try to allow people the experience of fly fishing where you would probably not think of it. A lot of you ladies and gentlemen travel to Colorado, Montana, New Mexico, up in the Alleghenies to go fly fishing. It's a wonderful sport. To me, it's an art and a sport. But a lot of people don't realize that many people started out fly fishing right down here in stock ponds and bayous and little sloughs, just having a good time. And they didn't think of it as something big and fancy. What do you mean fish with trout? What's a trout? So there's a lot of styles of fly fishing. But fly fishing is not a new culture. Example. Sure. Have a little show of hands if we could, please. How many people cast fish, bait casting? Spinning rod. Okay. I can take any fly fisherman, and please ladies, don't take offense. When I say fly fisherman, that's unisex. But I can take any fly fisherman, hand them a casting rod, bait caster, and y'all can go out there and chunk it, right? Catch fish. Pretty much easy. I cannot give a bait caster a fly rod and expect him to do the same thing because it is an acquired taste. It's kind of like scotch. It's like an acquired taste. So when it comes to fly fishing, you don't have to go after trout. You can go after some really good sized fish. You can go after some really nice fish like bass, stripers, bigmouth, smallmouth, all of that. And you can do it with a lot of fun. There are different kinds of weapons in the military. I'm, like I said, retired. My first stint was in the Marine Corps in 1967. Guy in the Marines went in the Air Force. They said, "Huh, you're a jarhead." Yes. Captain says, "Well, you ought to be a dirty, no good, rotten." And I said, "Yes, sir." So they made me a drill instructor in the Air Force. I love my job. They nicknamed me Godzilla. That's probably because of my tenor voice. But like a lot of things, you've got a little bit of different kinds of weapons. A lot of people use weapons that you pull the trigger on. I like this kind of weapon. This is also a fly rod. Now, the difference is that this fly rod is set up for bass and redfish. It's 8 foot long. Anybody can cast this rod. It's simple, but it's a great rod for doing it. It's called a mini mag. Now, this is more of what you would have down here. And then you have other kinds of rods that you use in different kinds of fishing, for fly fishing. While I'm doing this, you know, casting, bass casting, bait casting rod, bait casting goes back to about 1925, I believe. Some of the old lures that you could buy, the antiques. A friend of mine, Michael Bacon, has a great place down south of town. We razz each other, and he does know how to fly fish. I knew his dad real well. And the thing about it is that fly fishing is a little older. Not much, but a little older. That was in 25, I think ours was in 20. No, that was in 27 for bass fishing, casting. Ours was in 25, 1725, just a couple of years ago. Now, this is a 3-weight. A 3-weight rod is what we would call ultralight whenever you're bait casting. This is an ultralight weight fly fishing. I personally, this is mine. I love it. Now, I'll cast to the 10, 12 when I'm going down into the Gulf. I enjoy it. But a 3-weight is my preferred weapon. Got it on video, got regular photos. They have not been Photoshop enhanced. The last one was a 24-inch rainbow on this rod. Prior to that was a 25-inch brown on this 3-weight, and a 6X tippet. And ladies and gentlemen that fly fish know what I mean. Now, prior to 1725, it goes back to about the 6th century.
Judge, what was that like?
That cold.
He started.
fishery, which we would put it in 500s. There was another kind of fishing, and it was called tenkara. Tenkara was actually the beginning of fly fishing. And we're talking back in the 500s, and that was in Japan. That's one thing the Japs didn't copy of us. Now, this is called a tenkara rod. It's airbrushed to look like bamboo, but it's not. It's a composite. It's a composite rod. And as you can see, it's in sections just like you would have bamboo. The difference is this is an 11.5-foot rod. There's a little bitty thing on the end of it. Well, that's where you tie your leader. On this, you use a furrow leader. For those that don't know, it's a braided leader. Now, you will use a 11.5-foot braided leader on this, and on the end of that, you'll tie a 4 to 6 foot tippet, preferably a 6 to 7x tippet. And and I like these high ceilings. I wish I had them in my office. You do what's called nipping. You can flick it over, you can sit it down, and you follow the flow of the water. That is how the Japanese started out using it in the mountains in an area called tenkara. It's tenkara fishing. This is how it started. And there are several manufacturers on this. This just so happens to be TFO, which TFO is Temple Fork Outfitters. They're out of Dallas, Texas. I carry only TFO rods because I find them to be excellent. I've got a lifetime warranty. I need it. I have a lifetime convoluted way of walking. The good thing about this is if you're a hiker, unlike me, you can take and put this in your pack, and you can roll up your leader, and this is a case for it, and this is where you roll your leader on, right here. When you're ready to fish, you just take your leader out, hook it on the end of your tip, and you go fish. Now, knowing that some people may have the ability or lack thereof, like I do, on keeping things, nice, new, it comes with a spare tip. And it too is in the tenkara function. But this is just a different way of fishing. And I have seen photos, I have not seen them personally, but I've seen photos where they've caught up to about a 16 to 18-inch trap off of the tenkara. But they're very good, and they're a very nice, versatile way of fishing. For those that do fish, I'll pass these around if I may. These are just some flies that we carry. Some of them I tie, some of them other people tie. When I first started in the shop, I could keep up with tying my own flies and putting them in the box. Then they wanted more than about 10 or 12 of them. So I had to start buying flies. I'm very particular about who I buy them from. So the flies that I carry in stock are different than some of the ones you might get in the big box stores. Not discounting the big box stores at all, please don't think of that, but what we do is we specialize in only fly fishing. I do like to give lessons on fly fishing. We welcome young people. We're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, 15-year-olds. We've got a lot of them right now that are learning to cast. More of them are actually learning how to tie flies. Now, completed flies, here's just an example of some of the things that I tie, I teach how to tie. Flies, there must be a million, I'm not exaggerating, as y'all know, styles of flies. But you only have two families, you have terrestrial and subterrestrial. But inside that, you've got a million different kinds. I started 2 flies, and one of the flies has now gotten onto the website, and a lot of people have copied it, and I've got another one that only a few people have copied. But that makes me feel good knowing that I founded a fly, and that some people were able to use it and enjoy it.